Hey everyone, welcome back to Dan's Chess Lounge. I've been getting back into my tactics lately, and I wanted to continue the series on mating patterns. And I came across this mating pattern called Pillsbury's mate. Pillsbury mate was named after Harry Nelson Pillsbury, and he was an American chess player. He lived in 1872 to 1906, and he was a naturally gifted player. Like, he wound up beating an expert player after he had just learned how to play chess 2 years prior. So he was a natural gifted player. He was a very strong blindfold player. The maximum simuls that he held at one time was 22 simuls, and he performed them all while he was blindfolded. So he had an incredible memory. His blindfold chess was excellent. One of the tricks that he used to do was he would be able to memorize a long list of words in very difficult long words, and he could memorize the whole entire list after just seeing the list one time, or after just hearing someone repeat the words to him one time, and he could recall all the words perfectly. So he had a brilliant memory and mind. It was probably a photographic memory, as they call it today. So as far as the chess goes, his most notable tournament victory was the Hastings tournament in 1895. And that tournament there is considered one of the strongest tournaments ever. It was definitely the strongest tournament at that time, and it could possibly still be the strongest tournament today, because you had uh, Emmanuel Lasker playing in that tournament. You had William Steinitz playing in that tournament. You had all the strongest players was in that tournament there. You had Mikhail Shigorin. Um, I can't remember if Capablanca was in that tournament or not, but it was. I'll pull a list up and put it on the screen. It was all the top players from in that generation, and Pillsbury actually won that tournament there, and that kind of put him on the map as being, the next up and comer. And he was from the United States, so it made everyone here in the USA very proud of him. After that, in 1897, he won the U.S. Chess Championship, and he would remain the U.S. Chess Champion all the way until 1906, when he passed away. And he died very young. He was only 33 years old when he died. Um, he wound up contracting syphilis a few years earlier, and it wound up killing him. So his potential was never really recognized. He could have been even greater than what he wound up being in the chess world. But he still made his mark on the game, and he's going to be in the history books forever. He even has openings named after him, like in the Queen's Gambit Declined. There's a line in there called the Pillsbury Attack, and of course you have the Pillsbury mate that we're going to go over today. So there's a number of things that he's remembered for. And so let's go ahead and get into the mate, and let's see what it's all about. So on the screen here, as you can see, this is the mate in the very barest and most basic form. So white here has a rook and a bishop, and really that's what it's all about for white. The rook can sometimes be exchanged for a queen, but it's really with a long range piece here, the rook, and then the bishop, another long range piece. And you see how they're eyeing the king side here, this G7 square right here. So then you would have rook takes G7, check. King moves over. And now you have the discovered check, and the king can't get out. The only thing he can do is block with the rook. Rook moves up to block. Now you have bishop captures rook, checkmate. So this is a really cool mate that you'll see. And I've had this type of mate a few times. You'll probably had this mate a few times in your chess life as well. It's very common. Let's go ahead and actually check out a game that Pillsbury played. This game took place in London in 1899. Pillsbury was white, and his opponent was Lee. And it goes d4, d5, c4. So you have the Queen's Gambit declined. Knight f3. Excuse me, knight c3, knight f6, bishop. The knight comes out. And now you have just your traditional Queen's Gambit declined variation. You have b6 here. C captures d. Pawn captures back. Knight goes to e5. This is a signature move of Pillsbury. Pillsbury oftentimes played knight e5 here, and he would oftentimes follow it up with f4 here. Get the bishop out, castle, and it was a very good attack. It's called the Pillsbury attack. You have bishop b7, bishop b5, castles, and now white is going after the light square bishop here from black. So black must take here. Queen moves over to e8. White picks off the dark square bishop. And now this actually wins a pawn for white here, because now the queen is pinned by the bishop here. So now white can play knight captures the pawn here on d5. Again, the queen is pinned, so the knight can't capture back. So queen goes to e4. Knight captures, and the pawn captures here. If the knight would have captured there, yes, black's kingside would not have been opened up and destroyed, but black would have went into a losing endgame. So it was better for him to go ahead and capture. Pawn captures there. But now you have bishop h6, hits the rook. But you have to look here that this pawn here is also exposed. And then he'll be hitting the queen as well. So Lee decides to play queen captures pawn. But now you have queen f3. Exclam right here. Queen captures queen. Now you have rook g1. Check. The only thing that can block is the queen now. And now you have rook captures queen. Checkmate. So that was a good game from Pillsbury. Showing off his own Pillsbury mate that he was named after. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.